Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the cryptocurrency market today as Bitcoin broke the 50-day moving average, and we've seen a record-breaking $7 billion in long liquidations with Bitcoin. And what you'll notice here is Bitcoin is one of the first assets to break the 50-day moving average in quite a very long time. If we look at what happened to gold when we broke the 50-day moving average for the first time, you can see that initiated this channel that formed for gold. And then when we look at the S&P 500, you can see we are above the 50-day moving average, well and above the 50-day moving average. And even international markets like Japan, for example, if we look at the Nikkei 225, we are way above or at least sitting on the 50-day moving average, but we're definitely not below it. But Bitcoin right now did just cross this 50-day moving average, and we saw a record-breaking over $7 billion in liquidation. So I had to make this quick update to talk about my thoughts here, because this is a new puzzle piece on the table, and this is extremely important to watch here. And so you guys are watching the Sniper channel. My name is Naeem Halabadi, of course. I just want to dive straight into this analysis because you can see this 50-day moving average here was breached today, and it was a pretty violent breach here. You can see on the 4-hour chart, you can see we just went straight through the $58,300 level, and we talked about this in our video that $58,300 was a major level, and that $50,000 level was the target. We did have that CME gap at 54,450. However, I did mention that was not important, and so you can see this came straight down to that $50,000 level, and we did see a lot of sell pressure here, institutional type sell pressure here for Bitcoin. And so this is extremely important to watch now, because at this point, because we broke down from the 50-day moving average, that is a huge puzzle piece on the table, and we have to really just take this for what it is and look at the schematics, because the rug was definitely pulled on us today. And of course, we know the weekend is the most manipulated in the cryptocurrency markets. I always tell you guys that, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And then just like we predicted, Ethereum is actually seeing more strength than Bitcoin. It's not even testing the monthly open here, and the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, you can see, is up almost 2% with this extremely bullish tail here. And so Ethereum was definitely the asset to be in during this this push down, if you guys watched the video that I posted earlier. And so this is extremely important to watch. At this point, we have to look at that $49,700 level and this 100-day moving average as a potential downside target. So far, this is a bullish wick on the daily chart, but this does have 20 hours left to it. So we really have to see what's going to happen here. Notice that the volume is still quite low, and the path of least resistance is always going to be sideways to a little bit higher. And so this could still be justified as the path of least resistance for Bitcoin, which is sideways and a little bit higher. And so realize that that's still in play, which means that altcoins could be seeing a push to the upside here. You can see we're still above the previous weekly open here, and we are maintaining this ascending channel support, which is extremely significant for others' dominance. And then when we look at what's happening to the Bitcoin dominance, you can see we are seeing a push back towards this weekly open. This is going to be a pretty interesting push to the upside. I think there are going to be some altcoins that will see some strength just based on what's showing here with others' dominance. And then, of course, we do have traditional markets that are going to be opening up tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens with the S&P 500, because is the S&P 500 going to follow Bitcoin and come and see some downside? Who knows? With gold, you can see commodities have been showing a little bit of strength recently, and we talked about this gold to Bitcoin chart yesterday, and this wedge that was forming, and I talked about this potentially seeing a breakout. You can see we're now testing the 50-day moving average for the first time since gold broke down from the 2017 bottom of its price against Bitcoin. And so, we talk a lot about the US dollar and inflation. And so why are you looking at the Bitcoin to US dollar chart if you think the dollar is just plummeting in value? Maybe look at Bitcoin against another hard asset. And that's why I'd like to look at this chart for those that are new to our channel. We brought this chart up in early January and late December, but this is the 2017 bottom of the gold to Bitcoin price. And so you can see we did break down from that, But right now we are testing the 50-day moving average for the first time since this is broken down. And so I just want to put that puzzle piece on the table because of course, we've seen an extreme rally with cryptocurrencies. Precious metals have yet to see that. And then silver also doing the exact same thing, coming here to test the 50-day moving average. Just want to put that out there. Oil is also in that mix, as I mentioned. And, we do have international markets to watch, with the futures markets opening. So let's really just monitor the futures and how that opens up. With Bitcoin, of course, we did get the rug pulled on us. And this is what I like to call a transitionary phase. This is a pretty violent candle, and really it was all in 1 hour, and so this was a lot of sell pressure that came in, and this was definitely the rug getting pulled. And so if you have your risk management set, we took a trade here. 57,000 was the stop loss, and that was a pretty generous stop loss. We had that support level. We had the $58,300 support level. We had the 58,000, the $200 level, which is the previous weekly open. And so this to me was a proper risk to reward scenario. But of course, it is the weekend. It's the most manipulated. Keep your allocation smaller on the weekends. And of course, that just ended up, rug getting pulled. $7 billion in liquidations just shows you how much this market is growing, especially on the perpetual side. And so with that, I am going to do a book giveaway, and I'm actually going to pick 2 winners on this video. So comment below and share this video, and you'll have a chance to win a book, and we'll pick winners in our video tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. I hope you appreciated this update. And for those trading Bitcoin, this is an exciting time. Once again, when Bitcoin consolidates, altcoins tend to start seeing strength. So this is going to be a continuation of what we've already seen starting in January. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be open to the long and short side when it comes to the 5-minute day trades that we take. So just keep that in mind. As a swing trade entry for Bitcoin, I would say with this type of breach on a 50-day moving average, you want to kind of take a step back and just kind of reevaluate the other assets in the market as different opportunities, because coming down to test the 50-day moving average is a sign of something, and it's new, and it's a puzzle piece on the table, and it's that's why we had this emergency video. And the only other asset to really have done that is the gold so far. And so traditional markets have looked quite well, and the biggest international market, Japan, has done well. And then the smaller international markets are actually below the 50-day moving average, but they are definitely not as significant as some of these markets that we're looking at right now. So with that, thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. Snipers out.